What's up, guys? BeefyTanks here, bringing you another great pair of games in the M4A1 Revelorisé. This is a Tier 8 premium French medium tank. It is on the Sherman body, so it is rather mobile and has great both turret traverse and hull traverse. The only problem is that because it's on the exact M4 frame, the only thing they could do is increase the total health. It still has horrible armor, so really, playing this like a tank destroyer is your best bet. But anyway, let's get started and see what we can do with this monster. Now, this thing has a great gun. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna have you guys watch me leap this line here while I take a look at the ammunition. With the APCR standard round, which is the main advantage of having this gun, the 105mm armor-piercing composite rigid round has 390 average damage with 200mm of penetration. With the heat ammunition, it's got 390 just like the original, but then it ups the penetration to 250. And with the HE, it does 480 with 53mm of pen. Now check out this just absolute pixel sniping that I've been doing over the last couple of days. That was a bad example, but you'll see what I mean in a bit. So really, it's just going to be my responsibility with this M4 to support my fellow tankers as they're moving around. Oh, great hit, 426 damage. Now, another thing I did want to explain to everybody who is either about to play or starting to play. Notice that it did a whole lot more damage than stated here. It can actually do about 30% damage in both directions, either greater than or less than the average damage output by the round itself. So if you get lucky and you roll high, I mean, if anybody played, World of Warcraft, they're well familiar with either rolling for loot or rolling for damage. If you're able to roll high and get lucky, you can end up putting out a whole lot more damage than... Oh! There's an effing bunker right there, or a castle wall right there. I didn't even see it in the trees. But this is where it starts to get really crazy. I got this 2801 on me. He's a light tank. He should be easy to pen, and he didn't do much damage. He did just over 100. So his gun isn't that impressive, but I'll tell you what, mine is. I actually missed my first round, and then the VK is stunned by another tank, allowing me to move out once I reload and take him out. Oh! Artillery got him. Goodness gracious, I don't even know what the hell I'm watching this for. When the hell's the good stuff happen? It's been so long since I played this game. Oh man. Sometimes when I let the replays pile up on my desktop, just because I'm enjoying the game more than making the videos itself, I end up just completely forgetting what they're there for. Let me speed this up a little bit. Oh yes, now this is where a hilarious bit occurs. Now right here, I actually get a shot on this Panzer IV and another tank. The only problem is that I'm not able to balance my tank correctly on the debris behind me. So I end up taking a shot and penetrating this Panzer IV's, and I move up to take angled armor cover. And I back up in order to take another shot once I'm reloaded. The Panzer IV is already eliminated, and I gotta wait for my buddy to roll out of the way. And there's an ARL. You can see his hatch right there, but I just can't get my gun low enough to target it. I've been hit by artillery. I take a shot at the hatch and I miss. But look at this. This ARL sits around so long that I've got time to completely reload with a stunned crew and still take out his hatch. I mean, damn it, man. You're an ARL. You've got more armor than God. Use it. Don't just sit there. This Lore 155-50 is trying to get away, but I'm able to get one shot in him after I readjust. That's all it takes to take him out. Here we go. Check this out. This was one of the coolest shots I made. This T-34 gets pixel sniped. All I see is the very back of his tank. Oh! That was insane. I love doing that. So he's taken out, and I move on into the city. Speed it up a little bit. The Revelorisé is extremely flexible. but you know, it has almost no armor, so you got to be careful there. Here's a 110. I bounce. He hits for 285, doing a whole lot of damage to my side armor, because he can see under these archways because he's much lower than I am. Here he comes out again. I was debating whether to track him or wait for some body so that I can take a shot to his health. He decides not to move out, so I actually move on. But then we spot him again. And as I'm turning right and going through here, he hits me again, I believe in the track, right through the archway, like I said. So as soon as I repair my track, I back up and see if I can pull off a shot on him. Bob the Cool ends up missing, and the 110 takes a shot. Thread that needle! Hell yeah. Now this AMX 1375 becomes my new foe. He is much more mobile than I am. Much less deadly, but much more mobile. I lock on and take a shot and realize that that's just ridiculous. I need to be closer. I'm ready to assume a sniping position so I could take him out. End up taking out his track and ramming him. Fucks him up quite a bit, but then he can now outrun the traverse of my turret, even if it's one of the best in the game. But then I catch him right on the tail end. And then he's eliminated. T-34-3 is eliminated, and that ends the game. So it's like I said, it's more of a support tank than anything, and it's one hell of a sniper. Great damage, great alpha, great penetration, and overall a pretty sweet tank. I think it's worth it. Alright, so let's take a look at the cards. We've got the Game at Siegfried line with the M4A1 Revelorisé. I ended up getting about 108,455 credits with 2,700 experience gained. Now keep in mind I do have premium active, and I'll probably have it active for the next year or so. But I ended up getting Fire for Effect, which, again, just means that I dealt more damage to the enemy than the total health of my vehicle, which for the Revelorisé is quite an achievement, because although you only hit it about 350 at a time, you've got 1,400 health, so you have a whole lot of stuff to do in order to get that Fire for Effect. I got a Bruiser for causing the most module damage on the team, and a second-class Mastery Badge. Now, if you take a look, I also caused assisted damage on 4. I actually spotted one tank for the first time in the game, and ended up dealing a bunch of damage. Feel free to pause if you need to. If we go over to team score, 2,200 damage, 3 kills, 906 experience, actually the most on the team, which is very impressive for the M4A1 because it's rarely the highest performer. It's usually the support class. If we go over to detailed report, fired 13 rounds, 9 hit, 7 penetrated, 2,200 total damage with 1,000 being dealt beyond 300 meters. And yeah, and check this out. Even though the natural ammunition for that gun is a PCR, it's not that expensive. 24,420 total ammo resupply cost, with 78,425 being my remaining profit. Now let's take a look at a different game where we go to the desert, because I think you'll be very impressed with what I end up doing at El Haluf. What's up, guys? Bringing you another game in the M4A1 Revelorisé. This is pretty much the best example of supporting as a medium tank that I can find in my library, currently anyway. Of course, I play a bunch of games, you know, there's new footage every day, and I throw all the games out on my desktop and hopefully get through all of them. But it is a pain in the butt sometimes. As you can see, this T-69 that's sitting right next to me, piloted by Herector, that is going to be one of my foes during the game, and I just wanted to explain its capabilities. The T-69 is a regular medium tank. You know, it's got average speed, average capability, average armor. But what is cool is that it uses a magazine-fed loading system. So it's got 4 rounds built into a magazine, so it's able to fire 4 rounds at the target before it reloads for real. Now, the reloads between rounds are about 4 to 5 seconds, or I'm sorry, 2 to 5 seconds. But the reload of the entire magazine ends up being, you know, 30 to 40. So it's really a burst fire kind of tank, but you'll see one coming up soon. I end up actually getting into a little bit of a duel with one. There it is over there. So I move up to the ridge to try to get a shot on him. This gun is extremely capable of penetration and lots of damage. It's a wonderful gun. Let's speed it up a little bit. Go into my view. I'm at double speed currently. I'm going to go back to normal because I believe that's right when I spot the T69. See, that should have been a hit, I gotta say. Most of the shots were, you know, pretty awesome. 2 shots from the T69 failed to hit. The third does hit for 234. So you could see why 4 of those hitting would be a big problem. Nearly 1,000 damage dealt to a tank. That would take me out down to about 300 health. So, not bad. So I end up going really wide to stay clear of that T69. I don't want him spotting me. And I move up to support the heavies. Now we've got, I believe this is a T28 prototype. Yeah, T28 prototype and a T34B, which is pretty much just the black version of the T34. Unfortunately, there's no difference between the two, although I would have loved to grab that unique skin. But I end up nailing that T44 right in the back armor. Let me go ahead and go to my view here. The low and the T44 are extremely low on health. And I bounce off the which one is that in this one? IS-3, yeah. Bounce off the IS-3's turret with an armor-piercing composite rigid round, and I switch over to HE because I know that the low and the T-44 are almost HE ready. T-28 I end up missing with HE, which is pretty crazy, so I load back up into heat. Now I have issues with choosing what ammo I want to use here. I end up switching back over to HE now. Like, I still haven't reloaded, and it's been about 20 seconds. T-34B moves up to protect me. Ends up putting a nice shot in the side of the T-69. Now, I've decided to load heat once again, so I could try to penetrate one of these tanks. I end up getting one right in the side of the T-28 for about 384. As you can see on the mini-map, this has become a situation in the top left corner of the screen here. End up bouncing off the Panther. No, I end up not even shooting at the Panther 2, but he ends up getting a nice shot on me. I've got 3 tanks over here I need to worry about, and the T-34 and Pershing over here, Panther 2. I mean, it's going to be a big deal. I'm already halfway down on my health. I've missed the Panther 2 yet again and gotten hit yet again. So I just say, you know what? Screw that tank. I'm not even going to bother with him. End up going over to support the heavies over here. Did not penetrate through the T-26 E4's really hard to penetrate front spaced armor on the turret there. T-26 took a big risk heading out there. I hit the hatch of a T-28, dealing almost 400 damage to it. I considered that definitely a great shot. T-26 rolls out. End up not being able to reload in time to take out his hatch. Fire at the hatch of the T-28 yet again, doing 361 damage, but take a look at the damage I received, 232, leaving me with just 14 hit points. I have 1/100th of my health right now. I am at 1%, literally, perfectly, statistically. That Pershing is perfectly exposing the side of his turret. And so is the oh geez, here we go. One! Right in the back of that turret. I love shooting hard-to-kill mediums in the turret. It's so nice. This T-34 is round in the corner trying to take me out. I think he takes an early shot and misses. No! I bounce. He fires and misses. So I end up moving up to try to take him out. Come on. Hit him. Yeah! Right at that lower glasses plate. That's going to be your only weak spot on the T-34 if you're a medium tank, pretty much. If you're a tank destroyer or a heavy, you could try aiming pretty much anywhere on the hull. Oh, got another one right in the side armor of that Pershing, taking him out. End up turning around, though, because I know the T-44 is still a problem over here. But my point of this video is just that, listen, if you've got no health, don't give up. Because you are still effective. Your gun is still, you know, 100% effective. If you have no module damage, give it a shot. Just hope for the best, because you have a higher chance of succeeding than you do failing. If you have no module damage, if your crew is fine, Like, I've got 1% health, and I'm, you know, moving through, taking out enemies, so you could definitely pull it off. T-44, Sturv S1, M4A1 Revelorisé, a tank just like mine at full health. I call help and I start running. I'm heavily outnumbered. We've got the UDES and the WZ-121 holding the base there. Tiger 2 sitting on base is completely AFK. As a matter of fact, one of the players ends up, you know, announcing it to the team that we should probably be reporting him for AFK. Vendetta 6 driving a Tiger 2. Yeah, report Tiger 2 AFK. I send an affirmative, and so does the rest of the team. We end up reporting him because, I mean, he is as useful as Rip Torn put it, as a poopy flavored lollipop right now. We have no help from this player whatsoever. He's a heavy tank. It's his job to absorb damage. Oh shit. Got him. That was an ambush T-44, and I was able to pull off a shot before he could. The penetration of this gun is phenomenal, so you just pretty much have to aim at anything that you have a feeling you'll be able to pin, and you'll get them. The Revelorisé comes around the corner right here, and I'm able to take a shot before he's able to. I get real lucky, too. Come on, where are you? Yeah, he marks the M4A1 Revelorisé on the minimap, and then it shows up right in front of me. Oh, ended up taking a 400 damage shot and backing up. But now he knows I'm here. I call a help. Hopefully get my teammates over here. But I end up creeping out, and I'm able to take a shot before he takes me out, which I thought was pretty cool. Using my angledness. Yeah, he's hidden behind the hill, but as soon as he comes out, wham, wham. Oh, I was able to dig 2 shots into his front armor before he could take me out. That was pretty cool. Yeah, and I told the team, you guys are on your own now. Now, this is where I switched over to the UDES, and the reason I switched over is because I wanted to see if we were able to actually pull this off. I want you to see personally what happens here, because this is really, really cool. Now, we all know, on this map in particular, that this section right here, this little exit here, is a nice little sniping point down onto the base from up there. So if you're right up here where the indicator is on the map, you can shoot right down into the base here. Resetting caps, it's a very useful sniping point. And the only problem is that if you have a sniper like this guy watching that point, it's going to be a problem for you. So the Revelorisé actually moves up to that spot to try to snipe at a target that he knows is on the base because there's a base captured. And he ends up getting nailed for 400 damage. Now, the UDES also gets hit, so it resets all of his capture points. But both of our artillery are active and ready to go. So they've spotted the M4A1. The Lore 155-51's about to take a shot, actually. And notice something also that I noticed on this Lorraine. Those are tires. That explains why it's so mobile. It has tires built in within the gears of the tracks, which I think is pretty interesting. I've never seen a tank like that. Pretty cool. Look at those tires. But the Lorraine has a pretty cool gun as well. It's got a 3-round magazine. It's able to fire 3 rounds in succession. 6 seconds apart, I think, and then it's a 40-second reload. So it really does, you know, it sucks to have to reload the whole magazine. But if you've got such, you know, great damage potential when it comes to delivering multiple rounds on target, it ends up being really, really cool. Now, keep in mind the Revelorisé's got 5 kills. He's got a buttload of health left, or not much health left. He's about 500, maybe 600 health left. And I'm just taking a look at this UDES because I think it's pretty. What was I going to mention here? Oh yeah, there's 2 artilleries on the team still, on the enemy team. So if the Revelorisé spots somebody, they probably will be eliminated if the artillery knows what they're doing. So it's a big deal to just keep moving and be careful. So I'm telling Team Extreme here to, you know, well, first of all, good luck, because I'm hoping that he'll be able to take out all the artillery. But the Team Extreme is Team Extreme and the Lore 155-50 is completely capable of taking out more than one target with that artillery, even at close range, especially if the enemy is artillery itself. Now the FV-207 got real lucky and ended up taking out the Revelorisé way in the back of the base. So Now that I'm watching this Lorraine, we're going to try to go after the Artie. So let me go ahead and speed this up. Go to quad speed. Now the Su-14 has been spotted on the base itself. So the Lorraine takes a shot. He ends up hitting the SU for about 250 damage, but it doesn't end up taking him out. He's almost dead. Team Extreme is moving. And eventually, I believe the Su-14 is eliminated by the UDES. Oh, here comes another lore shot. And the 207 ends up taking him out first. You know, that British 207 was really on point. He was really watching what was going on. Now this is where Team Extreme spots the GW Tiger P. Either that or a GW Tiger. Boop boop. GW Tiger P shows up, apparently not watching his back at all. The Lorraine not only had time to reload, but then aim and wait. Fire! And that's the end of the game. I really do want to get a line of Lorraines. I've got a couple, but I don't know. They're hard to play just because they don't deliver much damage, but they are really, really cool, really mobile gun platforms, especially ones that can repeat fire and really do a bunch of damage to either multiple targets or even more to a single target. So how about that game, huh? Mastery Badge First Class, Reaper, Fire for Effect. Ended up being one of the best games I had on El Huluf ever. And that's only with 3 kills. I mean, that's pretty incredible. Take a look at the card if you need to. I'm going to go over to team score. Ended up dealing 3,264 damage, the most on the team, with 3 kills, 1,100 experience earned, most on the team as well. Detailed report, 17 rounds fired, 13 hit, 10 penetrated, 1 via splash damage. I'm not sure how that occurred, but I ended up doing 3,200 damage, almost none of it. Actually, none of it, completely none of it, from more than 300 meters away. That was a close encounter of a kind that I do not enjoy. But check that out. Like I said, the ammunition's pretty affordable. 30,790 total cost of ammunition. And that's with heat ammunition being used as well, bringing my total profit to 113,765 credits. That's just awesome. Anyway, this is BeefyTanks. If you liked what you saw, please click the like button and subscribe, and click the little bell so you know when I've released new videos. Now, these are not exactly the most impressive games I have on my channel. Please feel free to take a look at the other ones, especially the Tortoise games. I've got great Hetzer games on there as well. I'm also increasing the overall quality of my videos. If you've noticed, they flipped over to 4K. They're going to be going up even more soon. I'm going to be getting some software allowing me to do, you know, like green screening and stuff like that. Come the March update, it's going to be a lot prettier, and I'm looking forward to really upping the technology level of my channel. So anyway, in the meantime, I hope to see you next time. This has been Beefy1223, also known as BeefyTanks, and I hope to see you next time. Keep it beefy on the battlefield, guys.